Recorded live with little or no editing. It's Defense Up. I'm Red7. How you doing? Today we're going over Kamikazu's defense. We grade on 5 different criteria. It's who you're using, their placement, their power levels, their ISOs, and what kind of mood I'm in. Now, Kamikazu is not actually away from keyboard, but he has where he's not doing a lot of war attacks. So his alliance has him set a defense that is designed to soak up big teams early. So you're going to see a lot of stuff on defense that normally you wouldn't put on defense and you would use on offense. All right, team number 1 is the Skillitary team. It looks like this is mostly done right. I like Yelena Baloney here. I like her as a raider better. I like to get lots of vulnerables out to make sure that when Punisher does his big AoE, he double taps. It's very important to make that happen. This is a good team to be throwing on defense lately. They are a luxury offense team, very good offense team, but very luxury. So I like him on defense. This is the only thing I think he should change is making her a raider, but the investment's already there and it's probably not worth making the change on this team, which is not traditionally a war defense team. But for those of you who want to make her war ready as a raider, you don't need to go level 5 skirmisher on this guy. I think making him a level 1 skirmisher just to get the vulnerable and then having him spawn in for his passive is all this character is really used for. And then fortifier on Red Guardian, that's okay. Let's get the microphone out of the way here. That's okay. I prefer him more as a healer, but he doesn't have a lot of synergy with anything. You could also make him a skirmisher for clearing positive effects or whatever he does. I don't know. He kind of one of those, he's kind of like She-Hulk. Not a lot of stuff really fits him all that well. But all in all, it's not bad. I'm going to go with a B+ on this team. I'm not a fan of this ISO. And I think there's a little bit of wasted investment on this defense team. Team number 2 is the Web Warriors. What I don't like here is Stryker on OG Spider-Man and Stryker on Spider-Punk. I think that's not a good choice at all. I think those guys should be raiders, or OG Spider-Man could be a skirmisher to make sure that the stun sticks. I do like Raider on these two, and I like Stryker on Miles for his clearing positive effects. There are some alternative things you can do with the ISOs, like healer over here, or you could do like a Stryker skirmisher combo with these two if you're on offense and you want to do some blind action there. But it's pretty niche stuff, and I think mostly it's just Raider on everybody, Stryker on Miles, possibly Skirmisher on OG Spider-Man. I'm going to go A- with this. I just don't like those choices of ISOs. Team number 3 is the Axemen. On defense, I think that he should probably be a healer. I kind of like that. The only thing I really don't like about this team is the placement. I want you to swap places with Jubilee and Bishop so that Bishop is in between these two who can take a hit. He's gonna revive if he dies. She's gonna go invisible and help chain attacks. There's an alternative placement where you swap Jubilee with Kitty Pryde, putting her in the middle, kind of breaking up chain attacks on this team. But really, I think just swapping Bishop and Jubilee is gonna be the best placement for that. You've got Jubilee as a skirmisher, that's okay. I run her as a striker, but either choice is a good one. In raids, you're gonna wanna make him a skirmisher, but healer works great for defense. So placement swap, and I'd be happy. I'm going to go A- on that team. Over here, we have the Black Order on defense. What really bothers me about this one is that you've got Stryker and Stryker on the married couple. Corvus Glaive and Proxima Midnight call assists for each other on their basics, and you can get lots of cleansing and lots of double taps on that little move that they do. It doesn't matter which one you put Skirmisher on. I like Skirmisher on Proxima Midnight because I run them on offense, and that gives me more opportunities to clear positive effects. But on defense, it's probably better to make her oh no, I'm sorry. I run him as a skirmisher. I run her as the striker. That way she double taps and clears the positive effects. And then he has more damage. With 7 red stars, I bet you're better off putting him on defense with striker and her as the skirmisher. That's what most people do. I like her as a striker and him as a skirmisher. Raider on Cull Obsidian isn't really necessary. I prefer Stryker, and Thanos can be just about anything, but I prefer Raider. Doesn't really matter on those choices. It's up to you. So I just don't like the Stryker on the married couple, so I'm going to go A- for that team. Also, oh, you know what? Let's go B+. Thanos should be next to Cull Obsidian, triggering the retaliatory attack when people go in there and the splash damage comes off of Cull Obsidian. So let's change placement there. Team number 5. Ooh, this is something new. This is kind of So we're going kind of New Warriors, kind of SA Castrol thing here. What's happening is America Chavez is speeding up Sam and Cloak. Cloak's going to blind everybody, giving a little cover for the rest of the team to get going. Sam's going to help them get going with his opening move, speeding up the team and putting out... no, not putting out a vulnerable, because you have him as a fortifier. That is a weird choice. He's 7 red stars. I don't think anybody's going to get through him. I don't think fortifier is necessary. I understand the point. You want that taunt to really just hang in tough, but I don't think he needs fortifier. I think you should go skirmisher on him. However, you have 2 people that put out skirmishers via their kit, him putting out skirmisher on every attack. You got plenty of vulnerables coming out there for the 3 strikers that you do have, so it's not necessary to change him to a skirmisher. I guess I won't dock you for that. You're trying something new. I do like Kestrel as a raider. I get more value out of her as that, but keeping her a striker on this team is fine. I think this is really cool. I think it's an interesting build. I'm not certain of your choice with Fortifier, but it doesn't really debilitate you with how many vulnerables you have getting out on the team. So I'm going to go ahead and give you an A for that. If this was a better choice for an ISO, I might give you an A+. I just don't know how effective that is. I think that's kind of a waste of those blue ions. Team 6 is the Heroes for Hire. This is great. This is great. I love the placement. I love the ISOs, the investment, all of it. It's a great team. A for the team. Good job. Team number 7 is the Dark Hold on defense. Here you have Agatha calling out 1 assist on war defense. It's 2 assists in arena, but 1 assist on war defense. So she is either going to call out an assist from MLF, which is pretty good, or she's going to call out an assist from Doctor Strange, which that's probably one of the worst assists you can have. I think we should do a placement change. I think it should be Agatha on the end next to Wong, next to anybody else. It doesn't matter. And then that way Agatha calls an assist from Wong, who clears a negative effect from every member of the team on his basic counter assist. It's really impactful. I think you should make that placement change. You went skirmisher to make sure that those attacks land. On defense, I think she should be a striker on defense, but on arena offense, I think skirmisher is the way to go there. Raider here. Raider? No way. Striker. 100% striker on Wong. I do not like these ISOs. Okay. So we need a placement change. We need to swap out ISOs. This one can stay, but I just prefer her a striker on war defense. I think she's actually really good as a striker on offense too in certain situations. I think she has a lot of good ISO choices, but I think in arena, making sure that ability block sticks to the other MLF on the team, that's pretty clutch. If you have a speed team in arena that is designed to go second, it's okay to make her a striker then. So anyway, I'm gonna go B- on this. I think you're wasting stuff with your placement and your ISO choices. Team number 8. Okay, this is pretty wasteful. This is just simply an old arena meta team, an old speed arena meta team. Somebody's simply gonna come in here with Emma, Zemo, and Loki with their Eternals and nuke it. And so you're wasting your Doom on this team. You should split Doom up, make an Eternals team, or make a Doom team, 2 separate things. I also, I know you're not doing offense heavy stuff, but I do like Zemo better for offense. For those of you who are watching and thinking about building teams like this, I do like Zemo better for offense. He is throwing in some RNG. There is a chance that their counter going into this might get the wrong person ability blocked or something, but probably not. It's probably just going to get nuked like every other arena match you've ever had for the past 6 months. So I don't like who you're using. As far as their ISO choices, they're fantastic. Great ISO choices. You may want to consider switching Emma over to a skirmisher for some of the arena teams that we're seeing and some of the actual raid stuff that we're doing these days. She might need that skirmisher to boost her focus and clear some of these ridiculous resistances that we're coming up against. So I'm going to go with a C on this. I think these are really powerful characters being used very poorly on this team. This is an old arena team. Everybody knows how to beat it. This ain't going to catch hardly anybody off a guard. Okay, moving on to team number 9 is the WepX on defense. Here's something kind of tricky. Now, originally when I saw this, I was thinking Sabretooth has to be a raider and Wolverine should be a striker. Wolverine's counter assist, when he comes back into a vulnerable, he's going to gain speed up and it helps him get to his ultimate faster, which is really powerful and deletes a person. But I was looking at this. If you make him a striker, with his WepX team on defense, he's going to flip a defense up into defense down and then apply offense down to that character if he hits a vulnerable. The only problem is that he's going to go before anybody else. So his first turn is definitely not going to hit a vulnerable. Then you've got this guy who retaliates and puts out vulnerables. And you've got Wolverine going, I think he's like second to last. I think he's last, maybe second to last. And he's going to be putting out some vulnerables. So then on turn 2, that's going to take effect. So I like the idea, especially on offense when you can control it. And then on turn 2, you can start doing defense downs and stuff like that. I'm not sure it's going to play out so well in defense, and I think you should probably go with the traditional Raider on Sabretooth, Striker on Wolverine, or keep Wolverine as a Raider. That works too, because he bounces around a lot too. That way you're putting out more vulnerables for these two guys. But I think with just these two as Raider, him going out early, he's critting a lot, he's putting out a lot of vulnerables. It's probably going to be enough for these two as strikers, and even him as a striker. So I can still give you an A. It's something different, and I like different these days. I'm grading better for different. I do think that the other way is better, the more traditional style of ISOs. But I thought it was interesting reading over their kits and going over that on MSF.gg, seeing what was going on here. It's an interesting build, and I kind of like it. I'll give you an A for the team. I do prefer a different one, though. And finally, Team 10 is the Infinity Watch on defense. If you're putting Infinity Watch on defense, I think you should make Moondragon a healer. We keep her a striker for the old arena meta, so she would come back in after somebody clears a death proof. She would come back in and finish him off. But she's pretty slow. She doesn't have as good a damage as the rest of her members. Keeping her as a healer is a better thing to do on defense. Otherwise, placement, ISOs, all that stuff is great. So I'm just going to go for an A- on this. Honestly, if you ever decide to start doing war attacks and everything, this is probably a better way to keep it for when you're in offense. So this has been Kamikazu's war defense review. If you want your defense featured on Defense Up, find the links in the description. Head over to my Discord. Just DM me 3 pics of your roster and I'll get you on the list. Remember, guys, don't just have a good game. Be good to yourselves and others too, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.